my gosh, that is not a good sign. This heat press is melting, melting. I have 2 really good finished projects, 2 not so good finished projects, and a melted heat press. I swear to you, when we moved and I got rid of all of my sublimation printing stuff, printer supplies and all that stuff, and I told you I was absolutely done with sublimation crafts, that I truly was never going to pick up the sublimation craft ever again. The reason for that is I hate sublimation crafting. No joke. The reason why I don't like sublimation crafting is 1, my sublimation printer always clogs, never got a good print. It was just a pain in the butt. And the second thing is that the sublimation blanks are really expensive. And if I wasn't getting a good print and then I would ruin the sublimation blank, it's like just a recipe for disaster. Well, I'm putting my foot in my mouth and I'm learning that I should actually never use the word never. Like how I just said that, never use the word never. But I truly shouldn't, because anytime I actually say I'm never going to do this ever again, it ends up happening that I actually end up doing it. So I know you probably remember that I got the Uninet iColor 560. It's a white toner printer, but not just that. It also has the ability to be a sublimation printer. The sublimation cartridges, they are already inside in here, but this right here is a sublimation printer cartridge and it's all powder. So what I can do is while this was already inside my iColor 560 is I can put in a white toner to make DTF like shirts, switch it out to a sublimation toner and keep converting my printer back and forth, back and forth. I have other videos on that if you want to, because really what we're gonna talk about is this right here. But I just wanted to give you the reasons of why I'm back into sublimation crafting is because I have a printer that is absolutely amazing. So with the ability to switch out this right here from a white toner printer to a sublimation printer, I've had this printer for like 4 or 5 months now and it's never clogged, never had any maintenance or anything like that. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. This is what I've been looking for the longest time in my crafting career life. So we have that. And also the one thing that is my biggest gripe about sublimation crafting is you're not going to have the ability to do full wrapped tumblers, but apparently not anymore because HTVRont came out with a new auto heat press for tumblers, but specifically they have this right here and it is an attachment for a 40-ounce tumbler because you know, we all love 40-ounce tumblers, right? I got a big one right here. I carry this around. And now you can do 40-ounce tumblers with this machine. Look at this bad boy. It's huge. Apparently this just slides in and out of the auto tumbler press that they have here. And you can do 40-ounce tumblers. I don't know. We shall see. I am still trying to figure out if I truly want to keep going into my sublimation craft journey or what. But look, I'm going to sublimate on this today. And do you think that I'm gonna get a good sublimation print with my 40-ounce tumbler in this HTVRont Auto Heat Press? Auto Heat Press too? No, what is this? HTVRont Auto Tumbler Heat Press. I'm so used to saying Auto Heat Press too because that's what I had. But this right here is the HTVRont Auto Tumbler Heat Press. You can do standard ones, just like standard tumblers. I also have those here, so I'm going to show you that you can use it for just that, but then also the attachment for 40-ounce tumblers. And I hope I get a good print because this right here is going to be my fall y'all tumbler. And I'm going to be using my iColor 560 white toner / sublimation printer because that's all I have here. And we're going to see how well this turns out. So let's unbox this bad boy. I don't think that there's too much unboxing, but let's unbox this bad boy. We'll get some prints printed and then we'll see what the end results look like. Partnering up the iColor 560 with this brand new heat press and see what we get. Let's go. Okay, so I think I made a mistake by unboxing this first. So I'm gonna put this here and put this back in the box just for right now. All right, so we got some tumblers here, a glass tumbler and also some metal tumblers. Let's do both today. See how this works in the new tumbler heat press. So this is an auto heat press, just like the auto heat press 2 that they have. This is going to be all automatic. Oops, comes with some instructions. We got some heat resistant tape. Ooh, a pink glove. I love pink. Ooh, 2 of them. I actually only have 1, so this is perfect. Now I have 2 gloves. Then we have some silicone mats here. 1 thicker one, 1 thinner one. I'm kind of really excited about this new heat press just because when I got rid of all of my sublimation stuff, and then I got the iColor 560, I really kind of needed to figure out what in the world, like I now need to get a tumbler press, a hat press, all these presses that I got rid of because I want to get back into sublimation crafting now that my printer never clogs, jams, all the things. I love that this is white. It's gonna match all of my stuff. Oh, that's really pretty. I feel like they made this look exactly like how I would want something to be made. I doubt it, but look at this. Look at how there's glitter. Look at that. It's like, it's white. It's beautiful and it's white, but also there's some like glitter flecks in this. Oh my gosh, I love it. So we have the actual heat press itself. Has a little bit of foam. Got the power cord that's in there. Okay, so this right here is the power cord. I have read 0 directions, so I don't know how to, oh, look. Oh, that's cool. So how to take out this to put the attachment is, watch. You just pull it. And then when you're ready to switch it in, there it just clicks right in. That is like really convenient attachment moving situations. I'm so glad that that was so easy. All right, so first things first, what I need to figure out is what in the world are these for? They were in here. I have no idea. So we're just gonna open some directions and see what we have here. A tumbler, it's a tumbler heat press mat, 4mm and a 2mm. What is it for? So you actually, set up what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up the heat press, we're gonna turn it on, you're going to wrap your print around the tumbler. It's pretty straightforward sublimation stuff. Then what you are going to do is you're gonna take one of these right here and you are going to then wrap your tumbler with that. Generally what people would do is you would take your print, tape it on, and then you would take a piece of parchment paper, wrap your tumbler again in that, and put it in the heat press. But instead, what they want us to do is use these. I wonder what the quality is gonna be like using those. Yeah, everything else just seems like it is pretty straightforward. All right, let's go to the computer and print a couple designs, and then we'll use the actual heat press. So let's go do that first. It shall be no surprise to you that we are starting at my favorite spot, Creative Fabrica, to get just some simple and easy patterns and things for a tumbler because we're all about easy projects, but also I want to highlight the tumbler press and also my sublimation printer and not so much how to figure out how to design a tumbler design. What I love about Creative Fabrica is, to be honest with you, you can find something for everything. It doesn't, I've never came to Creative Fabrica and not found anything, okay? So for the very first thing I just want to focus on fall because it is fall, y'all. I love fall. My birthday's in October. Fall is my jam. So what I am going to do is find a sublimation tumbler design. And I saw this one right here that has a rainbow. I love rainbows. So we are going to just download this one. So I'm just going to press download. We're gonna let that download into the downloads folder. Ooh, I really like this textured stuff. Let's download this. So I'm just gonna press download again because I want to do 3 tumblers, a 40-ounce tumbler, a smaller tumbler, and then also the glass tumbler. So I actually am going to do this one for my 40-ounce tumbler. It is Fall Girly Social Club. I am a fall y'all type of person. I think this is going to look beautiful. This is what the final project should look like. I'm gonna download that. I just wanna note, this is how I found it. What I did is I went up into Creative Fabrica in the search field. You're gonna be able to see it right here. It says 40 ounce. You could put a 40-ounce tumbler if you needed to, and all these options pop up. This is the one that I downloaded. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over into Canva, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here into custom sizes. Now, this is where it's very important when we are printing something, when you are printing something to put it on a finished product, measurements are super important. But also, when people are like, well, what do you size your items? Because they get resized. I want you to size your project to the piece of paper that you're going to be printing on. So some sublimation printers, you can print like 8.5 by 14. If you are going to be printing on a sublimation sheet of paper that is 8.5 by 14, then do that in your custom sizes. I am going to be using a letter size. So what I'm going to do is switch my units over from pixels to inches. And instead of doing another random size, what I'm going to do is I am going to set my page size up to the page size that I'm going to be printing on. So keeping everything nice the same, okay? So 8.5 by 11, or 8.5 is the width and 11 is the height, and I'm gonna press new design. I forgot to mention, if you do not have Canva Pro, if you only have the free Canva, that's fine, because we are not going to be using any type of elements that would require you to use Canva Pro, okay? So what I'm going to do is open up my downloads folder, and I am going to, for the first, let's go back to the first one. First one is going to be the boho fall one, and I am going to find, let's do quick look. I'm gonna find that image that I want. Was it this one? It was this one. So I'm gonna do this one. So I am going to drag this up into my Canva. Now for this one, I think what I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna do this. These are metal sublimation tumblers. All right, so here is the deal. One of these fabric measuring tapes is going to be your best friend when we do anything like a sublimation tumbler, just so we can get proper measurements. Some people have this like really cool like handheld gadget, like you're just going to like put it, you know, and it's gonna like tighten it. That's actually really cool. I don't have one of those. I only have a fabric measuring tape. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to wrap this around like this. And this is we got it's a little over 9.25 inches wide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here into position, and I'm going to make sure and lock my ratio. I'm going to make sure that my width is set to 9.25. Okay, so I'm getting things like super distorted because I'm going to lay my tumbler right like that, and I'm going to wrap it around. So this side, you can see that I turned it over to the side. This is going to meet up with that side. This right here is going to be the bottom of my tumbler. This is going to be the top. So the opening, right? So this top and bottom need to be, top to bottom needs to be 8 inches tall, and then wrap around is going to be 9.25 inches, a little over that. And I'm not going to be able to get this resized, so it's going to look good. So what I am going to do instead is I'm going to come over here to elements, and I'm going to scroll down to frames, and I'm going to insert this frame. I'm going to turn this sideways 90 degrees, and this one I'm going to go over here to position, unlock this, and I'm going to do my width at 9.30, and then I'm going to do my height just over 8. So we're going to do 8.15. Okay, so we're going to drag this into the middle of my thing. So this rectangle that you see is going to perfectly fit around this. Now what I'm going to do is go back over into my uploads, and that one image pattern that we have, I'm going to drag it into my frame. You see how it's really zoomed in? You could double click it and move things around. I think I need a new image. What do you, I don't think I like this. Okay, so let me go back into Creative Fabrica, because that one, it was very small, and I think I want like a 12 by 12 image. I like this one, this like floral pattern. This will be good. Let's press download. It's 12 by 12 inches. So I think I'll have more pattern, because this is like, this right here is gonna be the final design. I just don't think that there is enough there for it to like be amazing. What do you think? I think that that's the truth. Okay, go to PNG and let me find something that I like. I like that one. So let's drag and drop that into Canva. And now we're gonna drag and drop that into the frame. And this is what the frame's gonna look like. I like this. So we are gonna keep this one. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna add in a page. Essentially doing the same thing. This time, let's do a glass tumbler. That's what my finished tumbler is going to look like. We're hoping it ends up doing that. Okay, we're gonna go back and we're gonna add in a page, and we're gonna go back into my downloads folder, and we are gonna find that fall girly one. This is going to look fabulous, okay? So this right here, just to recap, this right here is going to be for my straight metals tumbler. This right here is going to be for my glass one, and then the final one is going to be for my 40-ounce tumbler, all right? So at this point in time, let's do Sublimation, Crafts. So what I'm gonna do is come up here into Share, because now we gotta print these. We're gonna come over here into Download. I did say that if you only had the free Canva, that's fine, because we are gonna use free. You could just use the free account. All you would need to do is make sure this is set to PNG, and you would press download. However, I want my print quality to be amazing, so I'm going to drag this all the way up to the best quality possible. We're gonna do all 3 pages and press download. All right, so what I have to do is I have to turn on my Sublimation printer. I haven't done that yet. It doesn't take any time to heat up or anything like that. You simply just need to make sure that your Sublimation ink is already, and it's not even ink, it's toner, it's powder. You wanna make sure that your Sublimation toner is already inserted into your printer. All of mine is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Unfortunately, with Sublimation toners, white still isn't possible. So you would need white toner if you wanted to do DTF prints. This right here, underneath here, I have a bunch of different toners. White is also available. This is how I'm able to make those like really cool shirts now with that. So we're just gonna turn this on. With this Sublimation printer, all you need is basic copy paper. You don't need any type of like special Sublimation printer paper. All right, so I'm Wi-Fi connected at this point. What we need to do is just save our work. So then going back over into my downloads folder, if it went to like a different spot in your, sometimes Canva, you can tell it directed to like go to your desktop, whatever it is, just find your downloads folder or find your downloaded file. And then what you want to do is click on your first one, and we are gonna print this. Do not resize any of this. The way that we've created this is perfect, okay? I want to make sure that the scale though is scaled to 100%. Now it's just for good practice. You don't have to, especially for this one, because this one and then the glass tumbler one, there is no writing on there. So it really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things for the first 2 items. However, for this one, it is going to matter. You have to print in reverse or mirror, flipping horizontally. Those are all 3 very similar words that are used and tossed around when we're talking about sublimation prints. I would strongly suggest just getting in the habit when you are sublimation printing. I strongly suggest just getting into the habit of doing this, just so you don't print a whole bunch of stuff and then you mess up, right? So we're gonna come down here to layout, and you're gonna flip horizontally. And then what you're gonna do is press print. We're gonna go over here into the second one, and we are gonna Command P, which is print. Make sure it's set to 100% scale. Oh, shoot, I'm gonna cancel that. I press enter, don't press enter. We're gonna press print, making sure it's set to 100% scale. And then we're going to go down to layout, making sure it's flipped horizontally, and then press print. And then also with this one, the last one, what you want to do is Command P, which is print, making sure it's set to 100%. And then what you also want to do is do layout. Now this is why it's so important just to get in the habit of it, is because if we were to print this and not print and flip it, you're not going to have a good print or a good finished product at the end, because you're going to press it and it's going to be backwards and you're going to go, no, yeah, we're not doing that. Okay, now that we have already pressed print, let's come over here, and we already have some prints printing. This printer is actually exceptionally fast. We already have one print right here, and this is what our finished print will look like. Look at how crisp and amazing this print looks like. So good. All right, so then our second print is right here. That's what this looks like. Oh, I think this is going to look fabulous. I can't imagine what this is going to look like on a tumbler. It's going to look so good. So good. All right, we got the last one coming. So when people ask like, how fast is this printer? The printer's pretty fast. And it's not like connected anywhere besides Wi-Fi. So it's not like plugged into my computer or anything like that. And here is the last one. Look at that. Look how cute. I'm obsessed with these. And it is backwards. That's a good thing. If you look at this and you're like, ah, it's backwards, that is a good thing. Just trust the process, all right? I'm starting to sweat. It's gotten hot in here and I don't even have the heat press on yet. Okay, so let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. What we need to do is you can grab some scissors, or if you have like a straight edge cutter thing, you could do that. But what you want to do is let's just take the first one. What we want to do is we want to prep our items before actually turning on the heat press, because the heat press is going to heat up your craft room. I'm already sweating. I don't want to continue to sweat. So I am going to trim off any excess paper. I know that the heat press came with some heat resistant tape, but I already have some right here in a little tape dispenser. So easy to use. So I'm going to use that instead of this because I already have this, and I'll save that for later. It'll just go in my pile of things. Okay, hair up craft. Hair up craft time. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take our tumbler. Some people like to dust. What is that? They take a lint roller and like lint roll it off. I'm not gonna do that. But what I am gonna do is make sure that this is centered, and we're going to make this tight. This is the hardest part about sublimation prints, is just getting that thing. Some people have this like really cool, like it like squinches, I don't know. It like squeezes the paper together, so like you don't have to force it together so hard with your fingers, but you definitely want to make sure that this is tight just so that there isn't like a seam. So make sure it's really tight. I think it's called a cup cinch is what it's called. I don't know. I don't know what the actual term is, but you know how I was talking about that fabric measuring tape that like went in and like cinched it so you could get like a really accurate measurement? They have this as well that will make it to where you can cinch your designs together. What I do, and I'm sure this is not the correct way of doing it because I am no sublimation craft expert, I just know what I know, is I always just I take my fingers and kind of push the paper together. And then also, as I'm doing that, I put my heat resistant tape on one end like that. As I'm pushing together, I'm pulling and then placing my tape down on the other side. You gotta finesse it. Okay, this is done. We got them, it's tight with one strip down here. I don't really care about this. This is fine. I'm gonna leave it just like that, and we're gonna set this over to the side for right now. And then doing the same thing with this. Okay, got that all, it's on there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one long piece and I'm gonna put it right down the seam, just like that. Set this to the side and then take the lid off of this. All right, so I have this one cut out. I only did the sides and then doing the same type of process. However, this time I am going to align my seam to the back where my handle is gonna go. The handle is not on there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be mindful about where that seam is. And this actually needs to be longer. See that? It needs to be longer. So, hold on here. This project should not have taken me 2 days to finish, but it did because I have squirrel brain. I actually not only do these really cool crafting videos, I do some coaching about selling on Etsy because I've been an Etsy seller for 13 years now. It's crazy. But anyways, in the midst of making these tumblers, I had a one-on-one coaching session that I needed to get to. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll pause that. I'll come back to my craft. Well, then when I got done with my coaching session, someone came to buy something off Facebook Marketplace. And by that time, that was like 5 o'clock. The sun was set. I was done for the day. So now we are here for what should not have taken me 2 days to finish, but we are going to finish it. So where I left you off at is this right here and resizing this to fit onto here. I had to print this thing how many times? 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I had to resize this 3 times. I would strongly suggest when you do this that if it is tapered, up here is going to be the largest measurement. Make sure and get the largest measurement. The first time I did this, I did it here, and then I was not smart and did it here, and then I was like, are we for real? And I did it here, and now this right here fits, okay? All right, so I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way. We have, this is going to be the bottom. I'm gonna utilize what I got, okay? This right here is the direct center of my thing. I'm gonna get my tape started. Okay, I'm going to wrap this around and making sure that the seam is gonna go where my cup center is. I'm quickly remembering why I quit doing sublimation tumblers is because lining this stuff up is so hard. If I had one of those cup cinch things that I was talking about, this probably wouldn't be as difficult. Okay, so I have that taped all the way down, and then what we have to do is take, these are all, I have a bunch of sublimation prints if anyone wants them. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2. The handle is gonna be right here, so what I'm just gonna eyeball this. I feel like I'm pretty good about eyeballing things, but I'm gonna take my 1 and I am going to line this up kind of in the center of, oops, the front facing of my thing. Now, there's probably a better way of doing this. I'm just gonna do what I know. This should be fine. So we have it looking like this. Looks pretty good, huh? We're gonna roll with it. All right, now I finally get to play with my new thing. Oh, we should take the handle. This handle that I got comes with some screws, and I don't wanna lose that because I need to put that handle back on. So we're gonna set all that aside. Okay, now let's set up the heat press. We are gonna go, we'll do the glass tumbler first, which is this one. This is the glass tumbler. Let's plug in the new heat press. All right, we are gonna turn this on, and then it says 400 degrees. Apparently only goes up to 390, but this says it needs 400. So we're gonna do the 390. It says 8 minutes. Oh wait, oh, okay, here we go. Heat press, 400 degrees for 90 seconds. I don't know how much pressure to do this because nothing actually tells me how much pressure to do. I'm gonna get another one and see, because you do want, when you do sublimation, you do want it to be tight. So what I'm gonna do is just get one like this. We'll wrap it up kind of like as if we were sublimating it. Put it in here and see, like if we put that in there. I think it needs to be tighter because you don't want it to be, you don't want to be able to wiggle it around. Maybe tighter. Okay, so I'm gonna do 55 pounds of pressure because when I do that, like I can hardly move my glass tumbler. I don't know if that's gonna be the correct pressure. We will find out. I have 3 others, so if we need to, we can keep experimenting. I'm going to use this thin silicone for, ooh, it's hot. It's already really hot. So I'm gonna use this silicone for this tumbler. I'm thinking maybe even like the skinnier ones. That's why you would need this thick one. I don't know why you would need this thick one. And it also doesn't tell you when to use the thick and when to use the thin. So I guess we're all just guessing here. Okay, now that that is heated up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this inside the slot of the heat press. I'm just gonna slide it in. Whoop, it's hot. All right, now what we're gonna do is just press this button. Oop, not this button, oops. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, now what I'm gonna do is press this button right here. It looks like it's sealed up. Will it work? I don't know. I don't know if it will work, but we are gonna use our heat resistant gloves. Sublimation printing, you always get like a smell, and I smell it in here. I smell the sublimation. I don't even know what, like if you've done sublimation crafting and you know that there is like a significant smell, what is that smell that I smell? It's almost like rotten eggs or something. I don't even know. It's not a good smell. The agonizing weight. I do love this. I love the glitter that's on the top of it. It makes me happy. I love glitter. All right, so we're gonna slide this out. Okay, I always like to just peek to see, because if we didn't have the settings correct, then we can just push it back into the thing. Okay, we don't have anything. They ain't a dang thing that's on here. So I think we definitely need to go longer with more pressure. I don't know if this is going to work. This didn't turn out at all. And it's actually stuck, like my paper is stuck to it. What in the world? Do I need it for a longer time? That's not a good sign. Okay, let's try this one. Should we wrap it? I'm not going to wrap this one. I'm just gonna put it in there, just like that, and just press the, oh, there, you need to wrap it. This is because it can slide. You definitely need to wrap. Okay. It's so hot. This definitely needs more pressure. Oh my gosh. A little bit more directions would have gone a long way. Oh, F-U-C-K, that was really hot. Okay. Okay, that's definitely in there. This is really, really, really hot. Really hot. Pretty sure I have a burn on my arm now. Okay, so this right here, I just don't think, no. This is a no, that's a fail. Fail. Hopefully the rest of it won't be a fail. We're not on the right path. Okay, I definitely have like a print on there. However, I think you need to go a little bit longer. It's a lot better than the glass one, but I think I'm gonna go a little bit longer on this. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna do 180 seconds. All right, let's see what we have here. I did look, my sublimation toner, that's for the iColor 560, it actually suggests different times and temps because of the toner in which this is. So I am actually going to reprint, because look at that. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reprint this glass tumbler. I think the reason why the glass didn't turn out is because I didn't have the correct settings that I needed to use my toner. So the settings that I think HTVRont gives you is going to be good settings if you have a traditional sublimation printer. Because I don't have a traditional sublimation printer, I have to use different settings. Okay, I have some residue left for that paper. I'm just gonna wash that off. But this looks so good. After I wash this off, it's gonna look even better. All right, so I am going to reprint the other glass tumbler. We're gonna prep another tumbler because I know that with the correct settings, this will work. Pressing print on that. That will take a second to print. This right here is going to get washed off eventually. And then we will try, I'm going to try the glass tumbler before I try that 40 ounce. Okay, so for my sublimation toner, I was reading some things right here for glass. Sublimation glass, it says do 380 degrees for 420 seconds. That's wild. So we're gonna do the temperature down to 380 and this to, what did I say, 420 seconds? Whew, that's a long time, okay? But if that's the settings that my Uninet iColor 560 suggests, that's what I'm going to do. So I have this prepped, it's ready. I'm gonna put it back just like this into here. Hope I don't explode glass. That would be wild if it did. Like, how did this injuries cause if I have to go to the hospital? It's caused because hold on. This didn't close all the way. All right, we're gonna wait 420 seconds for that and see if that works. That's 7 minutes is what that said. Yeah, woo-wee, that's a long time. That was an agonizing wait, holy cow. Oh my goodness. Okay, before we even talk about this, oh my gosh. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but what happened here? This, like, the plastic is wrinkling. Do you see that? That is not a good sign. That is so, okay. Well, how much is this thing? HTVRont did send this to me, so I don't even know, like, how much is this thing. But that is not a good sign. HTVRont Tumbler Press. I am shook right now. I did not, like, there's rippling over here, this right here. Ooh, oh my gosh. $279. Wow. I don't know if it has to be my settings. Apparently I'm not using the right settings here. Because look, I still don't even get a really good print. I mean, this turned out amazing. It has to be something to do with the settings that I am using as to, like, am I not doing a long enough time? What am I not doing correct here? I still can't believe this heat press is melting. Melting. Yeah, I'm not even gonna continue going because that just is not, I don't think that that's cute at all. It's better between this and this, you know, the second one's better. Maybe if I do it for a longer period of time, it will be better. Maybe. Okay. So to pull out the attachment, you just slide it out just like that. Hello. You are never gonna believe this. Come look at this heat press. The heat press is melting. This thing right here is $280. Does it smell like sublimation or smells like melting?
It smells like melting.
Will you open my window? I still have to do one more.
So is there like supposed to be a certain amount of time you do in between them, or?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Are they coming out good?
This one is. I have some residue that I have to get off, but the glass, I think I have to press the glass for longer but I'm over it because I've tried it once, didn't work. It's my settings, my press settings. The settings that they give you for traditional sublimation ink isn't going to work for the toner sublimation. So I'm having to use Uninet's settings that they have for pressing.
So just like no idea why that possibly just started to melt?
No, but it's melting. It's curling.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out like why.
I don't know, I've never seen this before. But like when you have plastic on a heated surface, a heat press, like of course it's going to melt. Like that right there is all metal. There's nothing's gonna melt there.
No, I know, but like you would have thought, personally, I would have thought there was some sort of venting or something.
No, so when you're pressing it, the steam comes through here.
So that's supposed to be enough airflow?
Supposedly.
I mean, I guess as long as it still works, the outer cover doesn't.
Correct. So that, so that is true. So while the, it did this just fine. I have to still do the residue. If you want to wash the residue off, like that looks great. You know, this I think would be great if I had a traditional sublimation printer. But again, I just quit trying because this was 7 minutes of pressing. This is all their information that they've given me. Maybe you'll find something where they're like, it will melt if you do this. And then it'll be in my bad. Okay, so we have the 40-ounce thing in here. You just slide the attachment in through the back. You're gonna have to put this like this. Now, I have the tumbler prepped with the silicone thing in there. I'm just going to slide it in. You want to make sure those handlebar things are going to be on the very top so they don't get smushed. And then we are going to press the play button and hope that works out. I did it for 120 seconds. And then just to show you, my husband's here trying to figure out the whole melting situation for right here because this just doesn't make any sense. But there will be a gap. You can see the smallest gap down here. So a seam, if you're worried about a seam, you will probably have one because there isn't a full enclosure right here. But hopefully we get a good print off of this. And I put that seam on the back where the handle is, so it shouldn't be very noticeable. But you can definitely tell that there is some melting here. And then clearly here, all this is melting. Okay, that's crazy. But do you see how that, it opened up and now that steam just escaped? Be careful.
I know. I used to play with ovens, lady.
I know, but now we're not playing with ovens, we're playing with craft supplies. All right, let's test to see, just take a little peeksies at if we have a good press. If not, we put it into the heat press. I probably could go a little bit longer, just like with that one tumbler. See how it doesn't look like it's a very vibrant one. So what I'm going to do is slide this back into the press again, and we're gonna do a second press. Ooh.
So.
New update. My hubs, he's reading the stuff that came with this, and he said that there is free maintenance for up to a year.
And all the accessories are 3 months.
And all the accessories are 3 months. We are not worried about the accessory. We are worried about the body of this thing. So apparently that's covered for up to a year, which is good. That's great. I'm just blown away. All right. Oh, yep. Even brighter, more finished look. So it's going to look good. I mean, the results and the quality of the print is actually really good. Like that's something, yeah, it is really good. That's something that I would actually use. Now, the issue is you're gonna spend $280 on a heat press and it's gonna be melting. That would make me so mad. And it's actually not that bad of a seam either. It is barely noticeable. I am actually in love with this tumbler. In all the years of doing sublimation projects, I've never actually gotten 2 good sublimation tumblers in a row. I'm counting this and this as a win. I still think that this right here, if I improved my settings a little bit, I probably could get some really good settings and get that one to be a win. I'm done trying though. You know what's so funny is that I've never actually gotten good sublimation tumblers to turn out. I finally have a good sublimation tumbler print and the heat press is actually melting. Like something has to mess up here. At least it's not your finished product. Your finished product will look good and your tumbler will look like crap. But look at how cute that is. That's so cute. I did a really, remember what I said? Like I feel like I do a really good job lining things up. And I would have to say, I feel like I do a really good job lining things up. Now this one right here, my husband peeled off more of that. It seems like it will just come off if I keep like putting my razor blade to it, but I think just with a little bit of soap and water, it will turn out. This has been a very, very interesting craft. I have 2 really good finished projects, 2 not so good finished projects, and a melted heat press. This has never happened before in the history of me making content about crafts. Well, I don't know what else to say. I sure hope you like my tumbler because I will be using this thing. I'm actually really proud of this tumbler.
All right, hold on here. I melted my heat press. This was me. I did this. I'm sitting here editing all of the content of this. And I am to the point now where I take out my tumbler and I burn my arm with that silicone mat. And did you see what I did with that silicone mat? I put it directly on top of here and I let it sit there until I was ready to do my another glass tumbler. And then when I went to press that second glass tumbler, I noticed this. I melted it. I melted my heat press. I did that. I wonder how many people are gonna melt their heat press because they take that silicone thing out and they just put it on top of the heat press. I did that. I'm sitting here watching the feed. I'm going, no. That didn't happen because I was pressing it. It happened because I took that dang silicone thing that burnt my arm and put it here. Wow. Just wow.
I guess I'll see you in the next one.